Hey everyone, welcome back to Soul Scripts, where tiny stories create a little spark to your daily routine. Let me start with a question. What if the moment that breaks you is actually the moment your life becomes honest? This story is not about motivation. It's a story about what happens after motivation disappears. Let's dive into today's story. Arunima Sinha. She is the heroine of our story today. She was born in Ambedkar Nagar, which is near Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. On the night of April 12, 2011, Arunima was traveling by train on the Padmavati Express from Lucknow to Delhi. She was heading there to appear for a CISF exam and to sort out her documentation related to that application. As I told you, she wasn't chasing a dream that night. She wasn't imagining greatness. She was just going to write an exam. She sat in a general compartment. Suddenly, a few men tried to snatch her gold chain. Arunima resisted, and in less than a second, she was pushed off a moving train. Her body landed on the railway track. Another train passed. When Arunima opened her eyes, she couldn't move. She didn't know what was broken. She didn't know how much time had passed. She just knew one thing. No one was coming. She lay there for hours, bleeding, calling out, watching trains pass. Imagine that kind of loneliness. It's not an emotional loneliness, it's an existential loneliness. The kind where your body is still alive, but your future feels like it has already left the station. By the time she was taken to the hospital, doctors had no choice. They amputated her leg below the knee. And you know, when her leg was amputated, she was just 23 years old. Let me tell you another thing that will shock you even more. Before this night, she was a national level volleyball player. Yes, you heard it right. She was a national level volleyball player. And her body was not just her strength, it was her identity. When she woke up and heard the words, "We had to remove your leg," can you imagine her situation? What might have been running in her brain? If we were in her situation, most of us would think that we are done with our life and we don't have anything to do. When who you are and what you do are the same and suddenly one disappears, we can't digest that, right? Also, people told her, "Thank God, at least you are alive. You are lucky, you will manage," and things like you will adjust. But no one teaches you how to grieve a life that didn't die but also didn't survive. In that hospital bed, Arunima didn't feel strong. She felt invisible. She also overheard someone saying, "What will she even do now?" That sentence stayed in her mind. Not because it was cruel, but because it revealed how the world had already decided her ending. And something strange happened inside her. It's not the courage, not the inspiration, it's defiance. Not loud defiance, a quiet refusal. During her recovery, she watched TV like anyone stuck in the pain would. One day, Mount Everest appeared on the screen. Not as a dream, not as a goal, it just appeared. And Arunima said something that shocked everyone around her. She said, "I will climb that mountain." People thought it was denial. Doctors warned her. Friends went silent. No one supported. A woman with one leg, no mountaineering background, climbing Mount Everest. But here is the psychological truth where most people miss. Arunima wasn't trying to prove she was capable, but she was trying to feel alive again. And her training began, and it was brutal. Her prosthetic leg caused wounds, her hands bled during climbs, every step hurt. But that pain was familiar for her because she had already survived the worst kind, the pain of being left behind. She was trained under Bachendri Pal, the first Indian woman to climb Mount Everest. Her progress was slow. Others climbed faster, they moved smoother, adopted better, but Arunima had learned something trauma teaches you. You stop racing time, you start respecting effort. And on May 21, 2013, Arunima Sinha reached the summit of Mount Everest. Just after 2 years, her leg was removed. And she is the first female amputee in the world to do so. But listen carefully, she didn't cry because she won. She cried because she reclaimed herself. She didn't get her old life back, but she built a new one that could hold pain without collapsing. Later, she climbed the 7 summits, the highest peaks on every continent. But the real climb wasn't the Everest. It was a journey from "why did this happen to me" to "what can I become now?" And this is where her story meets yours. Maybe your loss wasn't physical. It could be a career that stalled, a dream that didn't work, a version of yourself that failed, and maybe no one noticed that. But your nervous system did. Your confidence changed, your certainty cracked, your future felt unstable. Here is what Arunima's story whispers. Listen carefully. Life doesn't always take things from you to weaken you. Sometimes it removes what you depended on so you can discover what you carry inside. Resilience is not positivity, it's adoption with dignity. Arunima didn't climb Everest because she was fearless. She climbed it because she refused to let one night decide the limits of her entire life. And even if you're listening to this right now, and if you're feeling stuck, delayed, or broken, maybe this isn't your end of your story. Maybe it's the moment your story becomes deeper. And that's it for today's episode. This is Soul Scripts, where real lives remind us that meaning doesn't come from avoiding pain, but from choosing who we become after it. If the story really touched your heart and